It probably looks like I'm on a green screen, but I promise that I'm not. I am actually here in Cairo, in Egypt. I've not really been to an Arab country before, or an Islamic country, or anywhere in Africa, or the Middle East, or anything like that, so it's quite different to come somewhere that is so fundamentally different from the UK or Europe. Biggest thing that I noticed is the traffic. My God.
Whatever rules there are don't seem entirely evident on the streets of Cairo. Some roads have lane markings, but they don't really mean anything, and the noise is non-stop. One driver told me the beeping isn't an angry gesture like in the West, but more like a conversation between drivers, letting each other know that they're coming through. And then there's the pedestrians. A lack of footpaths and crossings mean people just walk in and across the roads at free will. The whole road experience in Cairo was baffling and terrifying to begin with, but you get used to it after a while. Just as well because I spent hours on the road in the few days I was here. That's because I was here mainly for my employer, Vodafone, who in Egypt are based an hour west of Cairo in what's called a smart village, a vast area of new builds filled with IT, telecoms and banking companies. I asked some of my colleagues here, at this British-born company, what they think about the westernisation of Egypt. And they felt that it's less westernisation and simply modernisation. Either way, the Western influence is hard to escape. In amidst the traditional buildings and culture, I spotted many big names that were instantly recognisable to me. McDonald's, TGI Fridays, H&M, even Marks and Spencer. And I saw all these while riding with Uber and staying in a Hilton. Back to the streets, and as you've probably already noticed, the quality in roads and buildings varies dramatically across the city. As you can probably imagine, the dust and heavy pollution can be quite overbearing at street level, especially in amongst the traffic. One particularly striking part of the city is Al-Azhar Park. It's the only proper large park in a city of 12 million people, and it is beautiful. Pristinely kept, and it offers stunning views of the citadel, which sadly I didn't have time to visit, and the Cairo skyline. It was full of families, romantic dates, and at least a dozen wedding shoots while I was there. It was while I was eating that I was joined by a very patient wild cat. I stuck to the travel advice and avoided petting or any encouraging, but just look so cute. And that was the struggle for much of my visit. Wild dogs and cats roam freely across the city. Getting around the city was a struggle in the traffic, but was made a pleasure by friendly Uber drivers. The ones who couldn't speak much English did their best, and the ones that could offered advice, a warm welcome to Egypt, and even some tourist guidance.
It's area Square? Yeah. It's famous revolution.
Yeah.
Famous.
2011, yeah? Yeah.
Any time they live in any common revolution.
Another big difference between Egypt and the UK is money. The difference between British pounds and Egyptian pounds is quite something. An hour-long Uber drive would cost me £5 sterling. A big meal would be just 90p in sterling. At night, Cairo is much the same, only a few degrees cooler and still just as busy. My colleague told me that even though New York is known as the city that never sleeps, and even after 3 years studying there, she'd still say that it should be Cairo. The traffic is just as busy, the roads are still full of people hanging around, and places like shopping centres and restaurants are open until after midnight. After a few days of work, I managed to get some spare time to go and explore a bit more, and of course, that meant visiting the pyramids of Giza. Now, the people working at these places will lie to you, scam you, and do anything for your money. It's almost enough to ruin the experience, to be honest, and if you're not confident on your own, definitely go with a tour guide or a group because you will get conned, basically. There's no way around it. And it's a shame, really, because everyone else I met in Cairo was so wonderful. But despite all that stress and pressure, the pyramids of Giza and the nearby Sphinx are nothing short of spectacular. Pictures and videos simply can't do justice to their size and grandeur. And if you've ever wondered what the Sphinx is looking at all this time, it's a Pizza Hut. But the best Egypt experience for me, saving the best till last, was Saqqara. Or Sakura, or Sakra. I don't know, because different people kept saying it differently and it really got quite confusing. But anyway, an hour's drive south of Cairo is Saqqara. It may have only been a few days, but I had a fantastic time in Cairo, leaving me yearning to visit again and see more of Egypt. You certainly have to have your wits about you, especially when trying to cross a road, but I was respectful and well behaved, and I was more than okay. A place like no other I've been to before, it was an adventure from the moment I arrived, and one that I won't ever forget.